Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Wrong Ones. So we're finally back after the third week of the IPL, which has been an absolutely hectic week. We've had almost 8 or 9 matches that we need to review now, and there have been some close finishes, some really one-sided finishes. Thankfully, most of those have gone in the favor of Delhi. But we're going to carry on with looking back at some of the matches that have happened, and then trying to predict and see, we're going to start a league to see who gets more predictions right in the week to come. So let's start with the first match from last Saturday, which was the Royal Challengers of Bangalore versus Rajasthan Royals, which Kabir said Rajasthan would win, and I said RCB would win. So we can start with that. Kabir?
Look, I said RR would win because at that point I was like, RCB have that Joker stag, and I thought that even though us RR have the really good foreign core, I didn't think they'd sorted out their middle order. It turns out that it was the other way around. I was proven wrong. What can I say?
But what would you like to say about the match in general otherwise?
Oh, the match in general, there's not much there. I just think they were outplayed by RCB. I think RCB were way better on the day, and way better on the day.
Noor, what about you? Big thing in that game was Kohli getting back in form.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. I was at the start of the game, I thought it was more evenly matched. I didn't think RR would lose this badly. But because Kohli was not in form, so I thought maybe RR had a better chance. But Kohli coming back into form is a great plus. He did well in another game as well this week, so that's good for him. Good for them. Finch's form is a bit of an issue still. I would still look into that. That's a bit of a problem for the top order. But I think the problem with Rajasthan, this is what I want to focus on, is that we've already discussed this. Their middle order without Ben Stokes looks very weak. So if their top order isn't performing, they don't have a batting lineup. That is even worse being in this IPL.
Yeah.
You know what
Their
I mean?
best middle order batsman is like Rahul Tewati at this point, which is a joke.
Hey, don't undermine the king of this IPL, okay?
Yeah, no, I think he's been fantastic, and I think he's been bowling well as well. But if as a team, and these are Steve Smith, Josh Butler, they know that you can make Robin Uthappa or Riyan Parag chase down a score of 150. Well, if you get out and for 20 runs, if you get out cheaply, right? They need to take more responsibility. It's about the senior players and the more experienced players in the top order taking responsibility, and I feel like that's what they've been lacking.
Yeah, for sure. So I think there's not much more to say, actually. You've covered the stuff about that game. It was quite a dead game. They got restricted, and then Kohli took his time, came back into form, won it convincingly. Kohli and AVD. Typical Bangalore, that's it. So let's move on to the first. Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to go?
I think
small thing to say.
I just wanted to mention one more thing. I think I wanted to just talk about Washington Sundar, who's been phenomenal for RCB. He's been playing, I think this is the best cricket I've seen him play in a while. And even just that match, his economy was 5. He had 8 dot balls. He didn't get a wicket, but he was still so good. And, because he bowls up front, I think he's doing a really good job. And that really helps RCB.
Yeah, 100%. And, speaking of his partner opening the bowling, Surana is not all the RCB fans expected him to be.
He's taken a couple of wickets, and I give that to them.
He's taking wickets, but at what cost?
Fair enough.
10.25.
Okay, that's enough talk about RCB and RR. Now we can move on to the first of 3 Delhi masterclasses this week. First up, we have the Kolkata Knight Riders versus Delhi, which was an absolutely convincing, if you'd like to call it that, victory. Shreyas Iyer batting masterclass. And and Noor, what do you think?
Like you said, I think Delhi played a perfect batting innings. It slowed down a little bit in the middle, but that's what happens. And then they had a great explosive end. So I think it was great seeing Shreyas Iyer hit an 88 after 1 or 2 matches where he wasn't really, middling everything, and he got 20 runs, but he couldn't really convert that into a big score. I was happy to see he did. The one thing I would like to still mention though about this game is that there were times where you feel like there's a collapse coming in the previous seasons when you see Delhi play. I don't feel that anymore, and a big reason that's there is because of Marcus Stoinis. Even though he didn't perform that well.
All-rounder of the tournament so far, 100%.
Yeah, like even though he didn't perform the best this game, I thought like I still felt like confident that we can make a big score. Another thing I want to like mention is that I think teams playing Delhi are getting this completely wrong. I think teams in general are getting this wrong. Is that why are you putting Delhi to bat first? Make them chase.
Yeah.
If you want to beat Delhi, make them chase. They've played 6 games. There's one game they've lost. They lost to chase.
Yeah.
They have an incredible bowling lineup. They will defend a low score.
Yeah,
Like
completely. I
you
agree.
have to put the young batsmen that are known to collapse, that are known to choke under pressure. I actually want them to chase in the Mumbai game just so they have the
No, I
experience.
think we should win the Mumbai game without chasing, without any problems. Then we can start chasing against other teams. We cannot lose to Mumbai. Just no. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kabir, anything else you want to add to the Delhi game?
Thing is, I mean, I actually don't think it was that convincing. Like, I know our batting, we smoked our batting. I think our bowling performance was not up to par. KG had a rough day. Yeah, KG had a rough day. Stoinis bowled well. I don't really understand why Stoinis bowled out. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't convinced by our bowling performance. Obviously, seeing the rest of the week, our bowling is really not an issue here.
No
But
case stood up.
I don't think we were on the ball. There were points in time where I thought Morgan might actually take the game away from us.
Yeah.
But obviously, a pretty big total to chase and pretty tough to chase 230 on any given day.
And our bowling lineup is not the Kings 11 bowling lineup.
Yeah, it's true. Thank God for that.
Otherwise, yeah, Nokia I thought was a standout. He saved the game for us in that second half. After Rabada got carted, he stood up and actually saved the game. But yeah, that is the first Delhi game. Now moving on to the third game of that weekend, which was Sunrisers Hyderabad versus Mumbai Indians at Sharjah. Kabir?
Lucy, does somebody else want to start us off with this one?
I'll go. I think this was a pretty expected game. It went exactly as everyone expected. Mumbai batted first. They piled a lot of runs, especially given that what's his name, Bhuvneshwar Kumar is now out of the tournament. Siddharth Kaul got beaten all around the stadium, and then their bowling was far too superior. And every time KXIP looked like they had a chance, Bumrah came back and took a wicket, or someone else.
You mean Sunrisers? Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, Sunrise had a chance. They came back and took a wicket, and they basically just shut the window on them. So yeah, I think it went to script basically for me.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of why I didn't really have much to say. Again, like I think Mumbai were clinical and they just showed why they're the better team, quite simply. I don't think there was any point in time where Sunrisers really stood a chance. That opening, the two openers played well for Hyderabad, but that middle order looks so weak. It really looks weak. So I don't know.
That's fine. Yeah, Noor, do you have anything to add about that game or?
I just want to mention something about the strike rates at which the Bombay players were going in. So, like, with the exception of Rohit Sharma, who got out cheaply for like just 6 runs, everyone else was like 100. Like Quinton de Kock, 171, Surya Kumar Yadav, 150, Ishan Kishan, 134. Like everyone contributed, and that's what's good about the Mumbai team is that even if Rohit Sharma has an off day, there are people there to support him, and even if it was the Quran Pandya 20 runs at the end, it was just about the contributions they were able to make as a team. So it was a complete performance. It was not like one person is just the end all of this team, which is its greatest strength.
Yeah. I mean, I think Mumbai is so good right now. They are so good. That batting lineup looks impregnable.
We shall come back to that when we look at
high class.
The Delhi game. But anyway, so the last game of the weekend then, which was a weird game in the sense that a team that wasn't doing really well came out and won it by 10 wickets. Chennai Super Kings versus Kings 11 Punjab. Finally, Shane Watson decided to get up and show the world that he's actually a cricket player and not someone who walks out just for an afternoon stroll.
Yeah.
Noor,
yeah, dude. I mean, like, again, Kings 11 just have absolutely no idea how to win a cricket match.
We will come to that later. Do not spoil it.
Yeah, but it just seems like they have no clue how to win a cricket match. I don't know how you allow Shane Watson, who hasn't played like competitive cricket in 18 months or more than a year, right? Has played rubbish basically, dog shit since he's played this IPL. and you let him make 80 out of 50 balls. So I think that says a lot about the place that Kings 11 are in right now, sort of mentally and with their game.
Noor, anything else?
I have a whole rant about Kings 11 Punjab.
We'll save that. We'll save that for one of the future games coming up.
About this game, I'm just going to mention, I think Faf du Plessis again a standout performance. I know Watson did well and he's come back into form and that's great, but I just think Faf is really like, he's just this consistent, he's just, if there's hope in CSK's chances, it's Faf. Because he's so consistent and he's honestly looks like he's so positive in his cricket. So like he's in great form. So
Faf is an alpha. Faf is an alpha. That's what it is.
It goes back to like what we mentioned about like taking responsibility with the RR team, right? Like Joss Butler, Steve Smith, they're not taking responsibility. Faf is. He's actually the only one doing it maybe in the Chennai team. So like
he's the only one that is showing that he can bat.
Yeah, I mean,
like before Watson got into form. But
yeah.
Let's move on then. That was the weekend covered, which I just like to point out. I got 3 out of 4 results correct for that weekend. Kabir got 1 or maybe 2. I can't remember.
Congratulations, Ahaan.
Kabir. So let's move on to the first game of the week, or a week really, which was Monday. And again, it was another Delhi masterclass. This time more convincing, which was Delhi versus Bangalore, and I think it was just we outplayed them from start to finish.
Cash money, that's what it was. Cash money. We absolutely smoked them. Never in doubt.
No, for sure. RCB is a good team, guys. They're like I know they're number 5 on the table right now or something, but they're a good team. Like they have a class top 5 and we just destroyed them.
Yeah.
Like, we went through them like it was like easy pickings. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
What I really liked about that game was actually that till the KKR game, we were kind of having slow starts in the power play. And then KKR, obviously, but we were playing at Sharjah, so it was kind of expected. But then when they came out again and they stayed, I think 60 something of the middle of the start first 6. And even though we slowed down in the middle, the fact that then Stoinis played another blinder where he's got 50 or 25, 30 balls. And the best part about it was the RCB let him go last season. He shows up and smokes them to all parts. And the best thing was that they didn't bowl out Chahal or Saini. So we actually hit their 2 best bowlers along with some weird captaincy. It meant that 2 best bowlers actually only bowled 6 overs between them.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Saini went for quite a lot.
But I think Chahal could have been another over.
Yeah,
bizarre. I think the bizarre captaincy there.
I would say that Chahal, but Saini did go for like 60.
Yeah, Saini was having an off time, but Siraj bowled well. We made Siraj look like prime Dale's plane or something.
Yeah. I mean, speaking about the captain, Kohli's strike rate seems to be an issue here. He's looked a bit rusty, and it just seems like he can't strike the ball like he used to. I don't know what you guys think.
I don't think it's just a Kohli problem though. I think Kohli, Rahul, Rohit, they're all in the same boat. Rahul is also batting. Rahul, if you look at Rahul, most of Rahul's innings, he's batting the first 30, 35 balls. He's batting the first 30, 35 balls at a strike rate of maybe 110, 110.
That might be, but yeah. That might be because that's his role. And Mayank is supposed to try and hit it at the top, and he's supposed to rotate the strike a little bit more.
He's the anchor as well, right? In his team.
Yeah. There's anchoring, and then there's like batting.
I do agree. He was too slow that day. He dug himself too much of a hole.
Yeah.
No, I agree with what Kabir says in the sense that it never looked like, even if Virat was there for another 5 overs, it never looked like he could get them across the line. Like, even if he had not lost his wicket, it just didn't seem like that. I think it's just about not having been in touch with cricket for a while. I think he's class, and I think once he starts playing international cricket again, you'll see all of that. So one thing I do want to mention about this Delhi team, and I think this game is a perfect example of it, is the South African duo, Rabada and Ottier. They're outstanding. They took 6 wickets between each other, literally gave 21 dot balls between each other. It's why Delhi is so successful. It's also why Mumbai is so successful, right? It's their pace attack as well. It's the 3 of them. But in Mumbai, these 2, I think they had a phenomenal night that day. Naughty is just proving to be a lot better. Like in the first game, I think maybe he was a little nervous. He wasn't bowling the best deliveries, but he's just gotten better and better with every game.
Yeah. No, I mean, 100%. Preach.
Okay. So then we can move on to the next game of the week, which is match number 20 on Tuesday.
One more thing. Sorry. Can I just say, I had Moeen Ali in my starting 11 for RCB.
Okay.
I just feel like he just doesn't work in the IPL.
Yeah, that's not true.
Like, I know it's
I don't think he fits the balance this year.
Yeah. I don't know. He didn't look good.
I get your point in the sense, but I do like the fact that he's not a leggy. Like in terms, he gives variety to their spin.
But it was Sundar.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Morris is definitely the better option.
Yeah.
Morris for sure is a better option.
Oh, so we'll see today.
Yeah, we'll see. Guys, I'm shooting this on the Saturday while the game is on. So any references, you know why they're here. Anyway, the next game, Mumbai versus Rajasthan. Actually, it's really boring to discuss Mumbai games because they're basically all the same. They score runs, then their bowling attack stifles the opposition who can't really get away. Except, fine, they were kind of fine Butler innings over here in this match. They got into some form. But yeah, anyone want to add anything else except for that?
No, and then that's the thing, right? With Mumbai, like some guy in the top 7 makes like 60 odd. 2 other guys make 30 odd. They make it 180, and they restrict the other team to 140. Like what else is there to say? This time it's Suryakumar Yadav.
Yeah, I mean,
next time,
the thing for them is now 1 to 11 is all performing.
A couple times before it was a competition. Like Rohit Sharma will do it one day. Quinton Cock will do it one day. The middle order, I mean, the Pandyas and Pollard will do it one day. They got it sorted, man.
I want to look how this Mumbai team plays chasing.
I don't think they'll struggle.
I have a feeling that the Delhi-Mumbai game this weekend is going to be a win-toss-win game.
No, I don't know. Because that's not what's been happening so far. I think
the team that bat first will win in the Delhi-Mumbai game.
Yes, but I don't think that's necessarily down to chasing.
Yeah, I think maybe I don't know. I think it's a hard game. I genuinely think it's how the power play is going to go. Who gets the early wickets? But we can come to.
Yeah, I think the best way to beat Mumbai is 3 wickets up top. If you get that top 3 of them, if you get into Pandya, Pollard, and Pandya within the first 8 overs, then you're in the game.
Because even if because their natural game is hitting the ball. But if you hit the ball so many times for 12 overs, you're going to miss time.
Law of averages.
Yeah.
Law of averages.
There you go. Mathematical podcast.
The best maths podcast out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up, we have... Oh, this was an interesting game. KKR versus CSK. Noor, since you're so animated about it, I'll let you go first. Go on.
I don't know what's happening. Okay, CSK was cruising. They were cruising. Okay, KKR did not win this game. CSK lost this game. Well, but like Jadhav lost this game. Jadeja was still trying his best, but like I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what Kedar Jadhav was thinking. What was he gonna do? Like if you wanted to hit a single, I'd rather you try to hit a 6 and get caught in mid-off or something. Like I want to see you trying to win games. That's the problem with the CSK finishing lineup, right? They're not trying to win games. They're trying to lose games by the least margin. And that is frustrating. Because how are you going to qualify when you have such, this might as just be his final, IPL. I really want CSK to qualify because I want to see Dhoni in the playoffs.
I'm happy with them.
But like,
I'm happy. I'm very, very, very satisfied with them not qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I'm so disappointed because I'm like, you should want to win games.
Yeah.
Like, when I see Sam Curran in that team, I feel like him and Faf are maybe the only 2 people who want to win games there.
Yeah.
Everyone else, like, let's try our best not to lose by a big margin.
Come on.
And also, I mean, it feels like, this time Kedar Jadhav was just following his idol, MSD, wasn't he? The Godfather. He was following the Godfather, and it didn't work.
We're not letting you chat about MS Dhoni today because the last time you did that, we had a lot of hatred coming our way from a number of sources.
More. I want more.
It's okay. You put it up on your personal Instagram, okay? Anyway, now,
good thing for one thing we need to add to for this game. Great change to Neil Nair not opening. Rahul Tripathi was
No, no,
fantastic.
no, 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 no. I mean, it was a great change for him to not open,
Finally.
but I don't agree with him coming in at 4. Morgan is
Yeah,
the
it's bizarre. It makes no sense. It makes no sense for him to bat at 4.
Well, yeah, but him not opening was a good decision.
Yeah, he should bat at every single position. They should try him every single position before the end of the season.
Now, we'll come to that when we talk about today's game and why that is so important about Morgan batting at 4 and not Sunil Narayan batting at 4. But I think the captaincy calls by DK that day were very, very brave. And he's lucky. I mean, he's lucky and also slightly, I guess he deserves it that it came off. But some of the calls he made that day were controversial. He didn't bowl Narayan till the 11th over when he's got when his head-to-head before that, I think he's got Watson out 8 times. And he didn't bowl him, even though Watson went to a 50. The guy just kept him back. It paid off at the end because he stifled the back end and won the game. But DK is flooding with fire, and we're going to talk about that in the last game that we talk about today, but we'll come to that later.
Yeah, I still don't feel like KKR should have won that game. Like,
There
I
are
know
a couple of games KKR should have won, but
yeah, it's ridiculous.
yeah.
Okay, next game.
Next up, match number 22, which was on Thursday, which was Sunrisers Hyderabad versus Kings 11 Punjab. You can see from Noor's reaction.
I don't know.
I think I should rephrase this. It was Sunrisers Hyderabad. It was Bairstow and Warner versus Nicholas Puran.
Yeah.
That was the game.
Okay, again, I don't care that KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal got out for less runs. They're going to have a bad game. They cannot make runs every game. I'm glad Puran came into form. He was having a pretty shitty IPL before this. But you guys, they didn't even look like they look like, you know how in the Premier League they're like leagues, like they're different leagues. So like if you come like the last two, you go below.
Yeah, relegation.
Punjab should just go into the second league because like at this point they're not even contending. Like it's a joke. And
yeah, Ranji Trophy Group E.
Yeah,
that's where KXRP belong at this moment.
Dude, it's insane. But like also like have to give props to Warner and Bairstow. They played a fantastic innings. Like they played really well. But it's Warner and Bairstow. Like they're going to play well if 1 or 2.
But I think
games. Like I mean,
yeah, I think while we are giving them credit, what we spoke about even when we were preparing the Hyderabad team, it showed up even though they batted so well because they were 160 and of like 160 or 14 overs or 15 overs or something. And they ended up at 200, which is quite terrible, especially when you were facing Ravi Bishnoi and Arshdeep Singh. And I got to say, hands up to Veer, who said that Ravi Bishnoi is going to be the player of the season. Well, I mean, not player, but like the emerging player of the season for Kings 11 because he's been absolutely amazing in a number of games. But I think, yeah, it was just a bit of an odd game because their finishing was weak. And then Puran looked, even though they lost so many wickets, Puran looked like he was going to take them through. He just had to keep batting. And even when he got out, even though they had lost 5 or 6 wickets, they needed 70 of 5 overs. And Rashid was done. There was no Bhuvneshwar. It was 2 overs of the 5th bowler. And they had 2 other, like, I think Khalil and Sandeep, who are not the hardest bowlers in the world to take on. So he could have, even if he'd stayed around, he could have done it. It was just a really odd game by Kings 11 overall.
I mean, we have to mention the one and only Glenn Maxwell and the terrible form he has been in this entire tournament.
He almost won the game today.
Yeah. We're coming.
Matter of
today,
centimeters.
Today, I have a different opinion on that.
I think today is, we'll come to that, but I think today was his last game for a bit. But anyway.
I think his bad form throughout the season is the reason they lost the game today. Because it's the reason they didn't send him up the order.
But okay, we're going to put that.
That's one way of looking at it. Yeah, that's definitely true.
We're going to talk about that game in a bit of detail later because I've got a view on what Noor just said. But anyway, next game, which was the game on Friday, Rajasthan Royals versus Delhi Capitals, 3 wins in 3 from this week. It didn't look. I wouldn't say it was the most convincing, but I'd say it is probably it'll be the most. It'll be the best win for us. Because we did it under a bit of pressure as well for the situation where we were.
I completely disagree about it not being a convincing win. We won by 46 runs or something like that.
Yeah, it never felt like that though. I've said this to all my friends. Like even watching the game, it never felt like we were at 180, right? It never felt like we were gonna even get to 180, and it never felt like we were at any point in time cruising. It was a really really tough 180.
I don't disagree with you guys. I'm completely fine with that. But I also think you can't just look at a team's performance the way they just batted. I mean, I'm actually
No, that's not. I was
like,
okay.
yeah. I think Hetmeyer got into form, which was great. He had a great game. You know, like I think it was good for them, and I think we need to realize that our bowlers outshined, like they outperformed the other team by a lot. Like I
No, I
think it was.
completely agree with that. And what the
Oh
good
yeah.
thing
But
was, the good thing for me was it wasn't convincing in the sense that it's Sharjah. You would have hoped someone we'd get 200 plus. But what was really good to watch and look at was the fact that even though our top four relatively failed, and though that's
Run.
we are batting powerhouse, we'll talk about Pant's run out in a couple of minutes, but that's supposed to be our batting powerhouse. The fact that Hetmeyer, who hadn't got much of a game, not really had time to do anything much, he came, he hit 45 or 23. He really propped our score. I thought at one stage 160, 165 tops. And then he came, he played, hit a couple of sixes, got out, and then even we were all wondering, is our 7 and 8 good enough? Before Kabir said that our 7 and 8 is not great as well. And then he
yeah,
came.
I was
He
proven wrong.
hit
Happy to be proven wrong.
actually even what's his name, man?
Harshal Patel.
Harshal Patel and Akshar Patel both they basically took us from a 150 165 to a 180, which eventually put a little bit more pressure. So yeah, I think that's what was great for us.
Only thing about the two of them is that I'm like Harshal Patel is more of a batsman than Akshar Patel. I guess he bats further up in his Ranji team. But I just think Akshar Patel is a cleaner hitter of the ball. So maybe I would have liked to see Akshar before Harshal.
I
That's the
think
only
Harshal is a better batsman. You got to back the better batsman in that situation.
I know, but like it felt like Akshar was hitting the balls
Yesterday.
higher strike rate than so like maybe they could have just seen that, but I guess that's also just like Harshal was getting a lot of Yorkers, so I mean, and Andrew Ty bowled horrible.
Yeah, and Akshar got an over against Andrew Ty, which
yeah, so like maybe that's the only that doesn't matter.
Andrew Ty is rubbish in the IPL. He's really bad.
So Andrew Ty, the problem is he used to be fast, so his slow balls used to actually matter. Now everything is about the same pace, so nothing matters.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that
and actually, no. I just say about our bowling performance and their batting performance. I'm not sure that we really like won the game there. I think it was handed to us by Jaiswal. I think his innings stifled our chase, and at no point in time did they look like they were going to chase our score down just because Jaiswal couldn't hit the ball off the square.
Yeah, but I think they were bowling good deliveries to Jaiswal. He's a talented batsman, right? So like I get that he wasn't. I'm really nervous for him because I feel, I don't want to say it, but I feel that Mukchand curse coming on. I hope that's not the case.
Not yet.
I think he was a bit bogged down in the last couple of games because he got dropped after one solitary game. So he was kind of trying to play his game, play himself into the next game. I feel like now that he's had that innings, if they give him the next game, I think he'll come out bashing it.
Because he's so talented, right? But I do think that.
And he's going to be up against Hyderabad, and then with Bhuvi gone, their first few overs are not that great. So
yeah, and like he's definitely sorry. Keep going.
So I'm just saying, I think like what our bowlers did really well to him is that they cramped him for space, which is why he couldn't really hit it off the square. But I think against a batting lineup like bowling lineup like SRH, he'll be much more positive.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I just think I guess this is a tough comparison to take, and I mean they're going to compare to each other for the rest of their careers. I think Jaiswal and Padikkal. I think Padikkal would have hit the balls that Jaiswal was, nudging for one, that kind of thing.
But Padikkal has stayed at this level, not at this level, but he's been in this circuit for a little longer. Jaiswal is
fair enough. No, then okay. Look, Jaiswal, it's not like he's not.
Strikes me as the kind of guy who's better in ODIs and Tests than he was.
Yeah. I think the first T20 game he played, like official T20 game by ESPN's American first stuff was the IPL. Yeah, was this his first IPL game?
Can you just talk about Rishabh Pant's run out, please?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. So obviously, great fielding by Jaiswal, but oh my god, was Jessel, right? Who was
No,
fielding?
Yeah.
Oh no.
no.
Oh no,
No,
that was the other one.
That's all
That was
tired.
that was Tavatia. Just
Oh my
someone
God, yeah.
Tavatia. I think
Yeah.
Morgan. What am I saying? Morgan is in KKR. I think.
I just don't understand. You look at the ball before you run.
Yeah, I mean, he literally looked like he had a game awareness or a big bean. Like there was,
What was he doing?
it was nonsensical.
Here, the ball is gone here. He's looking straight and running without even looking where the ball is.
I didn't think he realized that there was a fielder there. Like he probably thought that there was no fielder there. And
I
then all
think
the guys are
the
like
fielder
so deep.
came in also the ball before, so I think he just didn't notice.
Look at the field, man. Look at
But guys, it happens, and it's not like I don't think
happens. This is like professional cricket. Like, what do you mean it happens? You forget that there's a fielder at mid wicket.
No, like, but sometimes you get run out. There are communication issues. He saw Stoinis coming out. He didn't look at the ball. He just went for it. Like, I get it. It was a dumb run out. I'm not saying it wasn't, but I'm just also not saying. I don't think it shows a larger aspect of his game by any chart. I don't think it represents something bigger.
It's a brain fade, right? And this is the whole thing with Rishabh Pant. From the beginning, it's been like, oh, is he gonna have brain fade and like screw the game when he's on like 40 off 30, or is he gonna be on 60 of like 45 balls chasing? With like we need 40 more runs off the next 30 balls. Is he gonna have brain fade? Then we collapse from there. Like that's been the problem the whole time with his batting. But maybe it is a bigger issue, which extends to like his game awareness, where like he doesn't know where he is in the game or how important what he does is. Like, come on, man. How do you get run out like that on live television?
The conversation of brain fades and collapses has led a perfect segue into the next game, the final game which we're discussing on this podcast, which is actually the first game on Saturday. Kings 11 Punjab versus Kolkata Knight Riders. You can see from both their reactions how enthralled they are to be talking about this game. But
How can a team with the two highest run getters be last on the table with one win?
No. Let's put all prior situations aside. Let's just talk about this game.
It was the perfect chase. It was literally the perfect chase. They were knocking the ball on the ground. They weren't taking any risks. They were doing so well. Mayank Agarwal was being the aggressor.
130 opening partnership.
Beautiful. They set it up. Even if Mayank got out, they should not have lost the game. Even if KL got out, they should not have lost the game.
If there was a win percentage calculator on there, they would have been at like.
No. I will tell you. At the start of the 17th over, so when they needed 29 of 24 to win, the ESPN Cricket Info, their win predictor had them at 97%.
How do you lose that game? They needed 20 runs.
It reminded.
I don't know if you follow the NFL.
No, it reminded me. Just one second, Kabir. It reminded me last year, Delhi versus Kings 11, when we were needed 23 of 20 or something, and then we lost 7 wickets. Except this time they kept themselves in the game so that Maxwell had a chance to do what he almost did at the end, but we'll come to that.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, for those listeners who follow the NFL, they're basically like the Atlanta Falcons at this point. The Atlanta Falcons have lost 2 games this season where they had a 99% likelihood of winning, and they've lost the game twice in one season. And KXIP obviously aren't at that same level just yet, but they've done it
twice as well. You needed one against Delhi.
Exactly. They're finding ways to lose games at this point.
Yeah, but I think now it's more a thing of once you get into the habit of losing, you just find every way possible to lose. You just can't win. Yeah. But props to Glenn Maxwell. Last ball, you gotta feel slightly bad for him. Last ball, 7 to win. You got yourself into that position, and then he gets it outside off stump. There's 2 things for Maxwell, okay, that I will never understand. One is your team is in shit. People are losing wickets left, right, and center. You're facing the best bowler in the opposition lineup. He turned into a left-hander and he carted that guy over.
That was
incredible.
That was insane.
IPL. You got an absolutely terrible IPL. You got nothing. You know that this whole game rests on your shoulders. How do you have the audacity to turn around and hit that for 4?
Oh, I respect that a lot.
Australian version of Rishabh Pant.
I mean, the balls to do that, that's just unbelievable. Imagine the amount of hate he would have gotten if he had missed it and he
Yeah.
got bowled or something. Yeah.
And then to miss the six by this much, it was this much.
Yeah.
To be fair to Maxwell,
So-
also, it wasn't the greatest delivery. It wasn't like, it was like right up to the
So
like. It
if you
was
look at what
really
Narayan said after the game, he said that I wanted to bowl full and wide, and I bowled full and wide. But then when I let the ball go, I thought it was, oh no, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have bowled it full and wide because the shorter boundary was on that side. So he brought the shorter boundary into play. But he was falling over and he drove it over cover. It was like, what
No,
a
it was
shot.
a great shot.
It
But I
was
think that's what he got. This is what I
off.
wanted to say to Noor earlier when she was bringing up the point about maybe Maxwell doing badly is why he's batting in this position. That's not true because Maxwell, at the end of the day, reputation comes in somewhere. Okay, Prabh Simran Singh has played 2 games in his IPL career. He's not even proven himself at the big stage ever. He comes out and plays 3 dot balls. I mean, okay, he looked good in the last game. But Glenn Maxwell has finished games, has won games for his international country. He's one of
Okay,
the
Ahaan,
best
that's
T20 batsmen
exactly
in his
my
game.
point. That is exactly my point. This is where my rant is going to begin, and because this is why I think this is a horrible leadership decision. I don't disagree with you. That's what I'm saying. I think Anil Kumble thought Maxwell's been in terrible form. I don't want to risk him getting a wicket, giving his wicket up, and then the team's morale or his morale going down. I'm going to send this Singh kid. I still have KL Rahul. He'll finish the game. I don't get it. If you have Maxwell in your team, if you're playing him and not Chris Gale, you're going to send him and give him the trust and responsibility he deserves as a player in that level. I agree with you completely, Ahaan. I'm frustrated with the fact that if he's on your team, trust him. He might not perform, right? But he's in your 11. Put him into a situation where you know he can win the game. Don't put him into a place where the kid before him, a 20-year-old kid before him, has hit 3 dot balls and now he has to make 18 runs on 8 balls, 16 runs on 8 balls. Like, that's where I got frustrated because I think that was just a bad leadership decision. And I think it was because in the past few games, Maxwell hasn't been playing the best.
Yeah,
But I
it
think
was a
that's
really
not a
sad
good
to
enough
watch
reason.
because you want them to win for the tournament to stay alive and for them to be there, but they just found a way to do something and really screw it up,
Like,
and that wasn't nice.
can you imagine if Maxwell had 5 more balls, they would have won this game. If he had the 3 dot balls that Singh had, he would have won this game. Also, then KL Rahul wouldn't have felt the need to play that big shot right before the over end. Right? You know what I mean? He's going for a boundary because he didn't.
They don't know how to win at this point.
Yeah. No, I'm in complete agreement with you. I think it was the dumbest decision not to send Glenn Maxwell, and I think it highlights them like mindset. We were talking about how CSK has a losing mindset. Kings K Punjab has a losing mindset. They have a loser mindset. Like, literally, they're not making gutsy decisions, or even like what would be a normal decision to send Maxwell before.
They're chopping and changing too much. They're sending people.
No, but also I think that any batsman at this level should be able to not block up, not dot up like that.
We've seen
like
it
Prabh
twice in
Simran
1
Singh
week.
did. Yeah, but it's unbelievable that at that level you think it's no, obviously they don't think it's acceptable to dot up, but
No,
not
but
be able
to
to
be fair,
rotate
be
strike.
fair here. If you compare this to the Jadhav thing, Jadhav defended 3 balls. This guy tried to slash at least 2 of those 3, and they went straight to the fielder. You can't.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
when you
not
have a
what
day, you have a day, but
he had to rotate the strike. Like, he didn't need to hit the ball. Like, that kid didn't need to hit the ball hard 3 times and get 3 dot balls. He needed to take a single. It was
Yeah, for
literally
sure.
that simple.
I also think some blame needs to be put on Puran because if this was Pant and he played the shot that Puran played,
Oh,
first
for sure.
ball of Narayan, then he would be given so much shit for it. And the
Yeah.
fact
Yeah.
that
I agree, but even with Puran's wicket, I don't think they were in a losing position. Like,
no, but when
even if
you're in, you take the team home. You don't leave it to someone
no,
else.
I completely agree. Nicholas Puran made a bad choice of execution, bad decision and bad execution. I completely agree. But even with his wicket gone, they still should have won that game,
Yeah,
because
for
they
sure.
sent in the wrong person.
Yeah, management decision. But I guess when you're losing, then you do nothing. Nothing goes right. Nothing comes off. On
I
the
mean,
same
guys,
side,
how
Delhi
is he
winning.
not going to
If they were
follow that?
winning, if they were winning team, maybe you would have come in and smoked 2 sixes and won the game. With the
Yeah,
confidence he
it's
had.
about players having confidence, and to me, a decision like that shows that you don't have confidence in your player. Then don't play Maxwell. Play
Yeah.
someone else.
Yeah.
Play a random Indian kid. I don't care, but don't play a player that you don't have confidence in, because then you're not going to win.
I think though they don't want to really play him anymore because if you looked at what Anil Kumble said in the those pitch side interviews in the game on Wednesday or Thursday was it when they
Yeah,
played?
he said Chris Gayle would play, but he
He
was
said that
sick.
Chris Gayle was going to play, but he has a
Stomach bug.
poisoning or something. And I don't see who else he would have come in for except for Maxwell. I mean, Puran's played well. So,
Dude,
yeah, I
can
think
I be
Maxwell.
honest? I would still play Maxwell. I would play Gale as well, and I would take out the bowler Jordan, and I would play Indian bowler instead.
Their bowling is so. I don't understand why they're not trying Ishan Porel.
Exactly. Play Borrell instead of Jordan. You don't like.
Ishan
I
Porel
don't.
was 140 plus.
I don't understand why they're going to play an average foreign player over
He's
two
not
people who
average. He's one of the best dead bowlers in the world.
Chris
In
Jordan.
international cricket. I've
No,
realized you cannot take international cricket form into IPL. It doesn't work.
no, I'm not denying that but he's played an average IPL. He's a great bowler. Don't get me wrong, but he's played a
But his
not so
IPL
great
has been
IPL.
terrible. Stoinis
Yeah.
ripped him off, then someone else.
Maxwell scored 100 a century before this. Now that doesn't mean he should play the next game because his form is this bad.
Yeah, makes
know?
sense. Anyway, so
I don't
that
know, guys.
was
That's
looking
my
back.
rant because as a Punjabi, I'm frustrated that Punjab's not going to qualify, even though like Mayank and KL are playing so well.
That is the look back into the week that has just passed. Now we can do some quick hit predictions. Let's see. We can do it for the whole week or we can do it for the weekend. Why do we do it for the whole week? Because we've anyway finished one match of the weekend. So let's
Ahaan, are
see.
you keeping tally?
Yeah, I'll write it down after. Don't worry. Okay, so we'll do the current game that's currently on. Chennai versus Bangalore. I'll give you guys an update so that you can make your prediction. Bangalore 81 for 3 after 13 overs. Kohli is batting with Sundar. AB de Villiers went for a dark. So, yeah, what are you guys predicting? And who's the man of the match as well? Remember.
Ooh, this is hard.
Chennai Ambati Raidu.
Chennai. I'm going to say Chennai and I'm going to say Faf.
I'm going RCB Chris Morris.
That's a cool choice.
He's gonna score some runs and he's gonna take some wickets.
No, I like it.
My Delhi boy. He gave us a lot. Okay, next up. Sunrisers versus Rajasthan. Oh, big game.
This depends on Ben Stokes. I don't know.
Sanju Samson.
Sanju Samson RR.
Can I have like a condition to my answer?
No condition, no. We are all.
Can I
Oh
be
wait.
if Ben Stokes plays?
No, there's no
RR?
condition. You decide what you want. There's one prediction.
Guys, okay, fine. Hyderabad.
Who's the man of the match? Besto. I'm gonna go Rajasthan Royals. Steve Smith. He has to get some runs eventually. Come on. He's too good. Or actually, it could be Besto also because they've got no opening bowlers. No, I'll go Smith. He can tackle Rashid if he has to play him.
After Archer bowls up front 1 or 2 overs.
No, but he bowls for the same team now. I'm talking about Sunrisers. They've got no one up top with Dhoni gone. Anyway, Mumbai, Delhi, big game.
Crazy match. I can't.
I have a wild one for this. Delhi Shikhar Dhawan.
I was gonna say the exact same thing.
Nah. Delhi shot.
Wait, Delhi pun.
Delhi Shikhar Dhawan. He's got to step up. Come on, bro. He practiced so much.
Yeah.
Now knowing my luck, he's gonna take out Shikhar Dhawan and play Ajinkya Rahane tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
He'll play Shekhar Dhawan. He took that one catch, now that's enough to play.
Okay, Monday. Royal Challengers Bangalore, Kolkata Knight Riders at Sharjah.
I want RCB to destroy Kolkata because I do not think that they deserve to be in the position they are. So I'm going to say RCB and I'm going to say Washington Sundar. No. I'm going to say RCB. This is playing in Sharjah. Sorry, I'm going to say RCB and I'm going to say AB de Villiers.
Kabir.
RCB Devdutt Padikkal.
I'm gonna go. I go mainstream this time. RCB Virat Kohli.
Okay. Kohli just got out. Oh, he didn't get
The
out.
Snakes.
Oh.
Okay. Next up, we've got Chennai versus the second leg starts on Tuesday. So Chennai versus Hyderabad at Dubai.
Oh, this is hard.
Dubai best. SRH best of.
This is hard because it's.
Actually, SRH Williamson.
You know what? I hope this is just wishful thinking. Chennai, Raidu.
SRH.
What do you want Chennai to win?
SRH Manish
I
Pandey.
want them. You know why I want Chennai to win? Because I want this battle for the fourth spot to be really entertaining at the end. I don't want it to be a.
You should want Hyderabad to win, and they'll stay up with KKR.
Yeah,
No,
I'd rather Chennai just sit in the depths of misery with KXIP.
SRH. Okay, fine. Let's go on. Last week, quickly.
Because you guys are saying SRH.
Delhi. Okay, now we don't need explanations. We need one-line answers. Okay. Delhi, Rajasthan on Wednesday in Dubai.
Delhi, Khagis and Obada.
Delhi Steinisch.
Delhi Shreyas Iyer. Okay, Thursday, Royal Challengers Bangalore, Kings 11 Punjab.
Kings 11 Punjab, KL Rahul. I have faith.
Oh, it's at Sharjah. It's at Sharjah.
I have faith. Kings 11 because it's in Sharjah. I'm going to say KL Rahul.
Kings 11 Mayank Agarwal.
Kings 11 Chris Gale.
I hope so, dude.
Sharjah 100 when he comes in, I'm telling you. Not 100, but he's going to do it. Friday, Mumbai Indians, Kolkata Knight Riders. Last game we're previewing for this week.
Mumbai Indians. I don't know who though. Mumbai Indians. Where they playing? Abu Dhabi.
Mumbai Indians.
Bumrah.
Mumbai Indians, Rohit Sharma.
They're playing in Abu Dhabi though. I'm gonna say bowler. I'm gonna say Bumrah. Or Trent Bolt. Either one.
I'm really struggling with this one. I'm gonna say. Damn, this is a struggle. Okay, fine. I think. Oh, damn, this is really tough. Mumbai and Karan Pollard.
He's been playing really well, huh? Really well.
All big call. Okay, then. So that is it. Now that is the end of this podcast episode. We've looked back at the week, look forward to the next week. And I can
one thing for the fans to keep going, those who actually listen and watch. I'm currently working on my left arm off spin, so I'll keep you updated on how it goes.
I don't think anyone cares about your left arm off spin.
Well, now everyone's gonna care.
As long as you don't start munkading. Once you start that, then we can talk.
Yeah. For some perspective, I'm a wicketkeeper, and when I do bowl, I bowl right arm. So I'm learning how to bowl left arm off spin now, and I'm gonna turn into Kabir.
I'm sure Sid, who's sitting there, will tell us how trash it is, but that's for another day.
Ask Sid how many times I got him out for a left arm off spin.
Okay, I should ask him later. Okay, cool. So thank you guys for watching. If you watched to this part and listened to his nonsense about his left arm off spin, which I'm sure none of you care about. But
stay tuned.
We're gonna see you soon at some point in this week. We'll decide when. But thank you guys for watching, and like, share, subscribe, and you can make fun of us once we get all these predictions wrong. But Chris Gale, I'm telling you for sure.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you guys.